Hey guys, I'm in front of the Adidas store right now, which is part of the whole fan experience here at the US Open grounds. And I'm going to get the opportunity to hang out with a tennis celebrity that all generations know about. So let's go check it out. All right, it is a treat to be here at the Adidas store with the one and only Stan Smith, former #1, former US Open champion, and tennis Hall of Famer. Stan, thank you so much for joining me here at the Adidas store.
Well, it's nice to be at the Adidas store. I always love being in these stores. I've been in all over the world at these Adidas stores, so it's always fun.
Well, I know you travel all over the world for tennis, but what makes the US Open so unique, having won it as well, and seeing, what fans see?
Well, the fans get into it, especially the night matches. When I was playing, we played on grass, and we didn't have night matches, but I did play some night matches here. And as a matter of fact, I was scheduled to play my quarterfinal doubles match at night the day my first son was born. So we actually postponed it to the next day, and I was flying high the rest of the week. We won the tournament.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
How do you think tennis has evolved since your time?
Well, there's more good athletes now. There's on both the men's and the women's side. There's players that can really move. They got great hand-eye coordination, and there's more depth. And of course, with the new rackets, no, they're not new anymore, but the rackets and the strings, players hitting the ball harder, more spin. And therefore, you see less serving and volleying because players can pass so well with the control they have with those rackets.
Well, there seems to be a lot of longevity with some of the players as well. Serena at the top of her game still. And on the men's side, you have Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, the big three, still in it to win it every major. Why do you think that's so?
Well, those guys are taking care of their bodies, and all three of those guys. And Murray's trying to take care of his body, but unfortunately he's had that hip operation. So I think the fact that they've figured out how to really get the most out of their body and to maintain it, take care of it, and they all love it, So if you're going to ask them why are you still playing, it's because they love to play, and that's the bottom line. And they're looking to, build on their legacy and win titles. They're not really concerned with prize money so much, so there's not pressure in that sense, but there is pressure, particularly in those big Grand Slam title matches.
What about the young guys? Who do you see coming in?
Well, there's the two Canadians, Felix Auger-Aliassime, and then of course Shapovalov. So that you got those two guys are really good. We got Zverev, who's playing well. Team is doing well. He's lost here this year at the U.S. Open, but Taylor Fritz is another good American who keeps on the rise, and he's going to hopefully be a top tenner.
Now, obviously, you've played singles. You've also played doubles and won at the U.S. Open as well. What is it like to be a player playing both singles and doubles? What is the grind like during the 2 weeks?
Well, it was just normal. We never thought about it at the U.S. Open and Wimbledon, all those events. We just played singles and doubles. Almost all the players did. And you'd have grinding days. You'd play best of 5 singles, best of 5 doubles. And if it rained a couple days in a row, then you'd have to play a few days in a row doing the same thing. And so it was a premium on fitness. The points weren't as long on the grass particularly, so didn't hurt you that much, but you were continually sprinting, serving and volleying and moving on the court. So it's different now. The players are specializing in singles or in doubles. You see very few that are doing both. Nick Kyrgios has actually entered here in both. And there's a couple others, but generally it's a singles game, and then if you're not really good enough in the singles, you'll play doubles. Would
you like to see the top players play a little more doubles?
I would like to see the top players. In fact, the ATP is trying to do that on the men's side to try to give wild cards to singles players, some of the top players to play in tournaments. And then the one tournament they seem to play the most in is in Indian Wells, where they will enter both singles and doubles, and they like it out there. They want to stay there as long as they can. And so, but most of the Grand Slam tournaments, the men are not playing both singles and doubles.
So what is life like now after your tennis playing days are over? I know you're up to a lot. Well, we'll talk about that later. That's a preview. But what else are you doing?
Well, I'm the president of the International Tennis Hall of Fame, and so I'm also the chairman of the enshrining nominating committee, which is in charge of the process of getting inductees into the Hall of Fame. And so that's been fun to see, what's happened there. The voting group really makes the decision, but we help set the process up to build the ballot so that the voters can vote for the players, and it's becoming more and more international. I also have a company called Stan Smith Events, and we help corporations entertain their clients at not only tennis events, but also at golf, the Olympics, Rugby World Cup, and we do some kind of weekend events that partners can bring the companies can bring their partners into. And then I have an academy at Hilton Head. We have about 50 kids, Smith Stearns Tennis Academy, and we have about kids from 12 to 18. They're playing anywhere from 3 to 5 hours a day. They're committed players, and some have done quite well. Our goal really is to get them to a level they could go to a college that's right for them, both academically and tennis-wise. And then a few of them have gone on to the pro circuit. And just recently, Jesse Pegula, who had been with us about 10 years ago, just won Washington. So that was it was fun to see that. We've got a couple others playing on the pro tour as well.
And of course, you are a fashion icon, as many do know. And here is one of your new shoes.
I like this one.
The Stan Smith line has been going strong for many years, has it not?
Well, it has. We actually took the shoe off the market in 12 and 13 and brought it back on January 15th of 2014 and all over the world. And we've done it totally through social media. So people have been following, celebrities and collaborators. We've got Pharrell Williams helping, with Adidas now, and Kanye West. And so we've got some different people that people really know, models and actors and actresses. And so that's been a big boost for Adidas. And of course, the products have been good. This one is very plain, very simple. This one particularly is actually pretty neat. It's got the flowers on it, and I'm about to get this for one of my 10 grandchildren.
Wow, 10. Nice.
Well, that's 10 women. Now girls, we have 5 boys as well, so we have 15 total grandkids. And anyway, it's been fun to see the shoe and to see. The fun thing about it is you got boys and girls wearing the shoe, and then you have men and women wearing the shoe, and so it's at all different ages. And that's the thing that's most fun for me to see, is that you might see a mother and a daughter, heaven forbid to wear something your mother might wear if you're a daughter, but I've seen a lot of those combinations, both mother-daughters and daughter-fathers, so it's fun to see that.
Well, Stan, we know you have the shoes on, and we are at the Adidas store. I would love for us to make an outfit. So how about we go get some T-shirts, made for ourselves,
We're make
specialized.
Right in the store.
Yes, we are. So let's go do that.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
All right, we're here at the flocking station. I understand that is what it's called.
Yeah.
Not engraving, not anything. It's the flocking station.
Yeah.
So we've chosen a couple of shirts here to go with your shoes.
Yeah.
You chose this nice green.
I like this kind of a lime green.
Yes.
It's a kind of a, as a fashion icon, I know that this color is now in fashion, so I'm going to go with that.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. Fashion tips from Stan Smith.
Yeah, right.
Now, we can choose one of these lovely labels here that we could put on the shirts. Which one are you going to choose?
Good. I played Davis Cup for the United States. We won 7 times. I'm going to put an American flag.
There you go. USA,
Yeah.
USA.
Yes.
Okay, and would you like an NYC 2019?
Yeah.
Just remember this moment with me, Stan.
This is a special moment. Well, to remember, this is 2019. We'll put this. Maybe we'll put this right here. How's that look? Right
See,
there.
this is
How
that a
about you? What are you
fashion
gonna do?
icon tip right
Yeah,
here?
this is
Okay.
what the real fashion
What should I
people.
do? What should
I
I
like this
choose?
black. Well,
I'm going to make you choose.
you got some color here. You might want to go with this color.
Oh.
It's not quite, the red and the orange don't really work that well. You've got some green here, so maybe you could go green here. This could be great.
All right, now that we've figured out the shirts and what we want, we're going to get ready to flock.
Yeah, let's flock them.
Let's do it.
Okay, good. So I'm going to take my green shirt now.
Yes, take your green shirt.
All right, you got the black one.
This is exciting, Stan.
Okay, we need some help, though, because I've never flocked before.
Yes. Tell us what flocking is.
So flocking is basically, we're basically going to press the New York City and the United States flag right on the shirt using heat compression. So yeah, we'll start placing it in here, and yeah, we'll guide Stan Smith through the process.
Well, while we wait for your shirt to be flocked, let's talk a little bit about your fashion career over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the shoe has been going on for now, what, 30 years?
Well, my name's been on it since 1973, 47 years. So it's been a while, and it's been through all sorts of transitions. You know, with we had one with it called the Millennium, which is in 2000, which is a little thicker sole that I wore quite a bit playing, a little more support while you're playing. And now we've got different colors, different materials. The suede has been one of my favorite materials because it's kind of cool, the blue suede shoe, so I've got some like that. I designed some in black suede with my university colors on them, so it's been fun to see that the evolution of it, and now we're seeing some with some flowers on it that look quite nice and different colors, but the white has been the staple in the collection since the very beginning. They really created in 1965 by Horace Dassler, Adi Dassler's son, and Robert Hayet, who was the #1 French player. And they created the shoe then, and then they wanted to get in the U.S. market a little bit stronger. So I was the #1 player in the United States, #1 player in the world at the time. So we kind of put my name and his name on it, my picture and his name, and then within about 4 or 5 years, his name evolved off the shoe, and it's just been my name ever since.
Well, tell us the behind the scenes quickly. Like, do you sit there with the designers at Adidas, you feel out all the different materials and say, I don't like the suede?
No, I let them do that work. No, they've done a great job, not only in designing, but also in marketing and getting the word out. And so I just help promote this shoe anywhere around the world.
What do you say to people who are young enough to not know your playing days, but old enough to know your playing days, but have this camaraderie and this connection because they love your shoe?
Well, it's been fun. A lot of young people will see, you know, if they see who I am, they say, gee, that's your name on the shoe. I said, yeah. I said, well, I didn't know that, you know, you played. And, you know, they did an interview in Paris, and they interviewed a lot of young people, and they said, well, what is he? Well, I think he was a basketball player. No, he was a runner. I said, no, I have no idea what he did. So, you know, that's just history. I mean, if you're 20, 30 years old, you wouldn't have seen me play. And if you don't follow the history of the game, you wouldn't necessarily know that I was a tennis player.
Well, Stan, thank you so much for joining us. It is wonderful to have your shoe on display. I might just go get a pair right now before I walk out this
well,
door.
Michelle, you would look great with those shoes with the flowers. You know, when you got those twins, they're going to be very excited to see you wearing that shoe, but they might throw up on it. That's the only thing.
Okay, well, before you go, let's see how your shirt turned out.
Gee, so that's permanent.
That's correct.
All right.
Did you think you made a right choice?
I think so. I don't have buyer's regret. I like that choice. It's going to look great.
All right. Oh, here we go.
Oh, that looks great. How about that?
And now we have this Adidas shirt right here. So you have a whole set. We're ready to go, and you're ready now to watch the U.S. Open in style here.
I'll be watching in style. How about that?